Hey guys, I want to talk a little bit today about asking a woman out versus inviting a woman out. At first glance, you might think those are the exact same thing, but in my eyes, they're not at all. And there's two fundamentally different approaches between both of these, you want to call them strategies here, but both of these tacks that you might take in whatever given situation you're going to be doing, right? So first of all, I want to talk about the differences and just contrast the two a little bit, just right up front here. First of all, when you ask somebody out, that implies that you're asking permission. You're asking, is it okay? You're like almost you're coming from a different place, right? Like, will you please hang out with me? Will you please go out with me? Will you please spend some of your valuable time with me? Okay, right off the bat, that elevates another person when you pitch it to them like that, right? And that's very traditional. That's not a bad thing. I'm not saying that's wrong, but that is a thing. And if you think about the general dating and what things have become, I think in this present day and age, it's like it pedestalizes women right from the get go, and it's like in a lot of regards and in a lot of circumstances, it's like you're you're going to somebody asking and begging and pleading, "Oh, your highness, princess, like can I please have a little bit of your time, take you out on a date? Can I please have some of your valuable time and spend some of my valuable hard-earned money and take you on a date and just hope that you like me?" Okay? Yeah, that's part of the courting process. Like I said, yes, that's quote unquote traditional. That's how things have worked for eons. Not saying that's horrible, but that is a thing. That is a fact. Okay. Now, secondly, if you were to say to somebody, "Hey, I'm inviting you out to do something with me," it's a different it's a different approach, right? It's like, "Hey, I'm going to the sports bar to catch a game. Do you want to join me? I'm going to be there whether you're there or not. You can come along if you want, but this is what I'm doing, and you're welcome to join if you want. Come along." Okay, but I'm doing this, or I'm going to the coffee shop at this day, this time, this place to do some work. Hey, if you're free, come on along. It'll be fun. That's an invite. That's inviting somebody along to do something that you've already got planned in your mind. And like I said, you're doing it whether or not she's there or not. But it's a whole different thing, right? I hope you guys can see the contrast between the, "Hey, can I please have some of your time?" to it's like, "Hey, you can have some of my time if you so desire." Okay, there's a big contrast there. And the last thing I want to say before I move on, guys, is that every single person who you meet and who you try to tango with and you try to involve yourself with, this is a mindset thing. You need to start thinking on the terms that you are at the very least a complete equal to whoever it is that you might be going out with. Exactly, completely equal, if not in some cases a little bit better, a little bit more integrity, a little bit more to offer, a little bit more of a caliber of human being, a little bit more of whatever way you want to think about it. But that is at a bare minimum. And even in those situations where you ask somebody out versus invite them out, you still need to go into it thinking on those terms. It should never be this type of thing where it's like, "Hey, I'm down here, you're up there, your highness, princess, can I please have some of your time?" It's like, no, I'm doing you a favor. I'm doing a nice thing by asking you out. I'm doing you a nice thing by taking you out and spending my money and spending my time and giving my presence to you, because I am, like I said, an equal, if not better person, and I'm a person of value. And this is not being an arrogant prick. This is not being an asshole. This is being a strong human being with a strong core and a strong heart and a strong soul. And this is just the mindset you need to have. This doesn't mean you go out there and be arrogant and talk down to people and make them feel like crap, or suppose that anybody else is less than you. You don't treat people that way. But like I said, just for you and in your brain and in your mind and your heart, you are at the very least equal. Okay. Now, to wrap up the discussion, I want to give you some examples of when to use each different approach in my mind. This is what I do, because don't get me wrong, I think there's certainly times when I am going to ask somebody out versus invite somebody out. If I've cold approached a woman, 100% I am asking her out. Okay. I've broken the ice during the day. I was a complete stranger. That's where I started. And the polite thing to do in that sort of circumstance, I feel like, is ask somebody out. And what that looks like is when you ask somebody, hey, what's your availability for the next week look like? And she gives you a couple options, and you go from there and you pick which one works for you as well. And then you move forward. You set something down, you lay out a date, and you plan it, and you go for it kind of thing. That's asking somebody out. Okay, like I said, if you have cold approach, certainly. But even if you've met somebody online, if she's being responsive and she's communicating with you like a normal human being, she's acting like a lady, she's being polite, she's showing you signs of high interest, then sure, ask her out. That's a nice traditional thing to do. But I'm going to tell you the contrast here. Once again, when you invite somebody to do something with you, when you invite somebody out on a quote unquote date, it's different. And like I said, I mentioned a moment ago, inviting somebody out is playing the hand like, hey, I'm already going here to do this. Would you like to join me? And if you like the time or not, great. I don't care either way, because I'm going to be out there having fun and doing what I'm doing. If you want to tag along, come on out. I'll buy you a drink. I'll buy you a cup of coffee. I'll buy you whatever, bite of food, appetizer, something like that. But these approaches are the ones that I figure in the situations where you're detecting lukewarm interest from a woman, right? She's on and off. She's hot and cold. You really can't tell if she's as invested in getting to know you as you are to her. And she's still there. She's still talking, and she's, could be an option. Then just play this card. Invite them out. Don't make it a big deal. Just something casual, right? Even same day. And you know what? If she's available or not, it's neither here nor there, but it's a different approach. It's a more appropriate approach, I think, based on how things are going for you in your situation. And I think it's a different way about going about things, guys. And I don't know. I think in the right circumstances with the right application, this can be a lot more progressive and a lot more strategic, let's say, and a lot more proper, right? It's like, how proper is it for you to quote unquote ask somebody out and plan out this awesome nice date, right? Where they're giving you lukewarm interest. You don't even know if they're interested or not. They're barely hanging on by a thread. You can't tell what's going on. They're probably dating 10 other guys. Like, you don't know what the fuck's going on, right? Why would you ask them out? Why would you give them the best you got to give? Okay. They got to give you a reason to do that. And if that's your case, like I said, I'm not saying flush it down the toilet and forget about her, because maybe timing, maybe she's busy, maybe whatever. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But make an invite her out to do something with you instead of asking her out. Okay, guys, very big line in the sand. I hope that makes sense. Asking out versus inviting out. I want you guys to think about that a little bit next time you're getting ready to try to set a date. Okay. All right, guys. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Talk to you soon.